Okay, so it would seem like this has become an annual thing somehow. You'd think that I'd learn from my mistakes, but no, it has only gotten worse. So let's go through my biggest sneaker and fashion regrets. Going from bad to just absolutely diabolical. Starting with Justin Bieber's Skylark Mule. Now, we're starting here because I do actually really like the look of these. It's just a cool looking pair of mules, designed very well. Now, the quality I must say is also quite nice. It's hairy suede, which feels nice and soft, but the reason they're on this list is just because they're so uncomfortable. Not only that, but they're also pretty heavy for a pair of mules, so the practicality just really isn't there for these things. I bought these while I was out in Japan at the Skylark pop-up that Justin Bieber hosted, and they were also pretty expensive. Now, I actually had the previous version of these, the thick, chunky ones that Justin Bieber snapped his ankles in and then decided to remake them as this lower profile version. And I've got to say, like, even those chunkier ones were slightly more comfortable just because they had a little bit more of like a rocker shape, so walking around was a little bit easier. But these are just flat, and then they dig into the top of your foot quite a lot with this thick strap. It's just overall not the most comfortable experience and not that convenient to wear. They've just become one of those things where, like, I've really given it a good go. I've tried to wear these things, but every time I put them on, there's just something more comfortable, another mule that's more convenient and easier to slip on than these. I think comfort is such an essential part of a mule. It's like 90% of why anybody would buy a pair of them. And when you've got more options, then these just become something that end up collecting dust. Which does lead me to my next regret, which is the Nike Mind Mule. Now look, it may be a little bit premature to have these on the list. I mean, these things only just released, but I've had them for the better part of like 2 weeks at least. I've done thousands of steps in these things. I really gave it a good go, and like I said in my video, it still stands true that these things are just a little bit weird. Now, I don't regret buying these things, obviously, from like I make YouTube videos for a living perspective. It's literally just from like a personal everyday wear perspective. It's just a little bit of a weird thing. You know, these are obviously made, or at least they say that these are made for athletes pre and post game, but then you decide to sell it to the masses and expect them not to buy them for what they look like, which is like a comfortable everyday mule. I think they look sick, but when you actually put them on, these little nodes at the bottom that poke into your feet, like, it ends up being just uncomfortable. It's like you don't really want to be walking around on little things that stick into your foot for an extended period of time. I think it's cool, and I love the fact that Nike is doing something extremely different here, but I feel like it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, that's cool, but you know, if you're actually going to put your money into it and buy these things, it doesn't translate that well. So yes, basically, as I've tried to wear these things, I've tried to, you know, just throw them on. You know, they look pretty cool. After 20 or 30 minutes, you get frustrated. You're like, I don't like these things sticking into the bottom of my feet, so you just swap them out for something else. So yeah, I don't think these are going to be in the regular rotation at all, but I'd love to know what you guys think. Like, have you found the same thing with these shoes? They're so different and unique. I'd love to know if you guys actually like them, or are you experiencing the same thing as I am? Right, this year we're adding clothes and some accessories as well, so let's talk about that. First one, the Yeezy Gap Balenciaga denim jacket. Now, I actually bought 2 different colorways of this. I've got the black one, and I've also got the blue one, which is so deep underneath the storage that I like, literally, I didn't even want to go and find it. And that's because the shocking thing is I've never worn these things. Now, it's not from lack of trying. Like, I cannot tell you the amount of times that I've been like, yo, I want to wear this thing, throw it on, and it just doesn't look great. There's just something not right about the fit. Now, I love the look of the pads. Like, this is such a sick design. It's so cool, and it's literally why I bought this. The whole motorbike padded thing, I think, looks incredible. But when you actually put it on, the shape of it is just pretty strange. You've got these weird, like, bendy arms that from the front just look really skinny and small, almost like T-Rex arms. And it's just, every time I've tried to throw this on and style it and make it look cool, I haven't personally been able to. I haven't been successful. Now, it could just be me and the way that I dress, and you know, I'm sure there's some people that make this thing look amazing, but yeah, for me personally, I have tried my best to style these things, and they were pretty expensive as well. I bought 2 different colors, paid resale for them, and it just never worked out. So yeah, I wish I just did not buy these things. I think the craziest part about all of this, the fact that I bought this one and then was like, yeah, I don't really like the way that this looks, so let me buy the blue one. Maybe that'll make things better. And obviously it's the same jacket. Sticking with jackets though, and to be fair, this one's pretty crazy expensive. It's these entire studio jackets. I've got 3 of them. I went on a crazy run of just buying entire studio jackets. And to be honest, I do like the way that they look, like overall, like generally speaking, but there's no way I need 3 that practically look identical. They're all super expensive, and this one in particular is like really uncomfortable because it's so rigid. It's made from like some kind of canvas denim style material, and it's so heavy. So the amount of times that I actually put it on is like, it's very, very slim. This one is not bad, but it's identical to the other ones, just without a hood. I think if I could do this all over again, I would have never bought those 2 and then maybe consider this one, although it is so expensive and I just very rarely wear it. So yeah, I probably regret this one too. Next up, we've got accessories. I don't really know if we can necessarily call this fashion. Most people buy these damn things for fashion anyway, and I'm gonna get pretty heated with this one. I hate these things. This is the Apple Airpods Max, which is just a diabolical, terrible product. They are ridiculously overpriced, incredibly uncomfortable, and it's just so unnecessarily heavy. Like, I tried to wear these things to the gym, and anything that I try and do, they start slipping and falling off of my head. Like, just imagine how infuriating it is. You get underneath a bench and you start trying to bench press, and you got the music blaring up loud, and then suddenly your headphones start slipping off, but yet you've still got to continue the exercise. So then I try to just wear them like while I'm working or just around the house, and you get about an hour deep and they start feeling insanely uncomfortable. You feel all of this weight on your head and it just starts giving you a headache. And it's mainly because of this little dainty piece of material that Apple decided to put on the top. Like, that's supposed to give a nice little plush bit of comfort. You know how like normal headphones have padding? Well, this has this dainty little piece of fabric that stretches out over time. So now, after like a year of having these things, when you're actually wearing them, you got these 2 solid metal bars that are pressing down on top of your head, and it's just excruciatingly painful. Oh yeah, and I think the cherry on top of all of this is that they break. And it seems like a little bit of conspiracy theory, but I feel like they break exactly after your warranty for these things runs out. They'll just stop playing music. Like, these things are now fully broken. And it's not just me. I actually did research this on Reddit and different places online, and it's a lot of people have experienced it. In fact, Dylan, my brother, bought a pair of these things at the exact same time, and they broke. Okay, we're rambling now. Listen. Terrible product. I regret these things 100%. Moving on. Okay, this one's pretty crazy. I think this should just be the entire category of designer glasses, but these ones in particular, these are the entire studio's sunglasses. Bruh, when I put these on, just please. What the was I thinking? What are these? Why did I buy them? To be fair, in my defense, they looked pretty sick online, and it's just, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think I'm ever gonna wear these. I think these are literally like Batman or like, what is that, Catwoman glasses. Like, what? Why does it look so ridiculous? Yeah, big regret. Next, we got these bad boys, the Crocs Ripple. I went and bought them in Vegas at ComplexCon, which is relatively recent. And man, when I bought these things, I was so excited about them. You know, these were designed by Steven Smith, you know, the guy who basically created, I mean, a bajillion iconic sneakers, but like a bunch of cool Yeezys, like the Wave Runners, the Foam Runners, and a bunch more. He moved over to Crocs, and this is his first design, and I feel terrible saying this, but I just can't do it. Okay, I've tried. I don't know if it's the shape or the color or just the fact that like this style is just not really something that I ever wear nowadays. Like, I don't know, I've tried to work it in. Maybe it's just my style currently that is not really working with shoes like this, like the foam, slightly slimmer Crocs style. I mean, this is very different for Crocs, but like this thing, it just does not look good. Any type of outfit I try and put with it, it just doesn't work. It is comfortable, you know, it's decently squishy underneath. I like that. I think maybe the actual shoe itself, practically speaking, is pretty cool. But yeah, I've tried to wear them, never actually stepped out the door in them, so I don't know. I don't think I ever will. I should not have bought these. But very close to the worst purchase I have ever made. These stupid things. These get number 2 on the list easily. This is the ABC, Puma, and Marvel collaboration. And where do I even start with these things? It's such a crazy story. I mean, what I will say is that the idea behind these things is incredible. It's a super cool idea, but the execution is absolutely horrendous. So the idea behind this launch was that it was going to be a blind box, you know, capitalizing on all of the hype that Labubu's and the Labubu-fication of everything, you know, where like everybody wants to do blind boxes now, no matter the product. So there's all of these characters from Fantastic Four that they decided decided to design sneakers from. And obviously this is a triple collaboration, so they've got the Marvel IP, ABC went in there and did their little work, and obviously it's on a Puma sneaker. But what we knew when we were buying this product was literally the fact that it's a triple collab. We knew it was going to be fantastic for. We had no idea what the sneaker looked like at all. Not the model, not anything. So all the way back in July, they loaded up this raffle, which they were like, yeah, enter the raffle and you could be in the draw to win these things. And then pretty much everybody that entered the raffle won. So I think it was like posed as somewhat of a limited thing, but I don't think it was. I think they literally just took as many people who were willing to buy these things and were like, yeah, sure. Now retail was $200, which is pretty expensive, but I mean, you know, the packaging was super sick, so it's not the worst price. So not only was this not limited because it was a pre-order, but they were also going to be manufacturing these shoes after the whole release. After they got all of the entries in, they decided, yeah, we're going to manufacture them now. And then because it was a blind box, they decided that they were going to have to ship all of the shoes out at the exact same time so that nobody gets pairs in early and then posts it online and then spoils the surprise for everyone, which now that I'm thinking about it is very strategic. I don't think they wanted people to know what these look like. Anyway, that's exactly what happened. Of course, these did not ship out to everybody at the exact same time. People had them online. In fact, some people still haven't received them. They posted pictures on Reddit and they got absolutely chewed up. Aside from the fact that people were pissed off because they had to wait 6 months for these things, some people thought that these were the worst looking shoes they have ever seen in their life. Now, anybody who is not located in the US, things got a lot worse for you. Like myself, we had to pay a stupid over 50% import charge on these things. And I'm talking 50% of the value of the shoes. These things were, I think, well, $200, roughly 150 pounds here in the UK. I had to pay 90 something pounds just to get them in. And obviously I can't reject the package. I've paid for it. There's no refunds. All sales are final. So now I've spent like almost $300 on these things. So yeah, look, I'm not a big fan of the way that these things look. I'm not a big fan of this Puma model. These things being this colorway, this is the Dr. Doom one. Not the biggest fan of this colorway. So yeah, I definitely regret buying these, and I'm sure a lot of other people do as well. But my biggest regret is way more expensive than anything on this list. Holy, it is the Travis Scott Fragment Lows. I paid almost $2,000 for fake shoes. Well, I think I should probably say potentially fake. We haven't finished the investigation yet. So I bought these a little bit after the release. Obviously, you know, I just wanted them personally, but obviously I make content, so that's a big factor. You know what, for the insane amount of money, I thought, you know what, like, it's fine. They're gonna hold their value, you know, or at least to some degree. A couple years down the line, after I've worn them for a bit, you could still get a decent amount back for something like this, a Travis Scott usually. But the story gets pretty crazy because when I bought them off of StockX. They turned up and they looked a little bit worn. Like there was a couple little tiny marks on the bottom, nothing major, but I was like, listen, I'm not gonna spend almost $2,000 for some shoes that have clearly been tried on. StockX, I'm sending them back to you. I want a refund and I'll buy another pair. They got them back and they were like, yo, these have been worn. And I was like, I know, that's why I sent them back. They canceled it. They stopped communication. And I think they gave my account, like, I think they charged me like $15 or something like that, a percentage, because they thought I sent them in like worn shoes. But I was like, no, you send them to me like this. I had pictures and everything, but couldn't do anything about it. So I was like, okay, I'm going to like literally wipe these shoes off. They had a couple different marks, so I just cleaned it up. It was pretty simple. I sent them back to StockX, like I sold them on StockX. And I even took a video because I didn't trust them. I was like, I'm taking a video of me shipping them off to StockX, putting the label on there. I took the little StockX tag off because I didn't want them to be like, oh, this is the same shoe, and then give me any troubles. So this is a pair of Travis Scotts that I bought off of StockX. And I'm going to have to, so now I've sold them on StockX, so I'm going to pack them up, ship them, but I'm just a little bit worried that they try and pull a fast one on me. So this is just in case. And thank God I took that video, because then they sent me an email and they said, we are rejecting this sale because they are suspected fakes. And at this point, I'm like, holy hell, they clearly sold me these fake shoes from the get-go. And now when I sell them back, they're saying fakes. So I had this whole chain of conversation with them. I kind of just wanted to see if they would like acknowledge, like, they are saying these are definitely fake. I was like, are you sure? Are they definitely fake? So they obviously sent them straight back to me and then and put like another penalty on my account or something like that. So I decided like, okay, look, I'm gonna get a couple different opinions. So I put them through the Check app, and I also put them through the Legit Check app. So the Check app does this thing where it basically uses AI to legit check them. That was really weird because they said multiple different times, they're like, we just cannot tell you whether these are real or fake. They say cannot verify. Now the Legit Check app, on the other hand, uses like actual people who look at the photos and everything, and then they'll tell you if it's real or fake. And they said that they were authentic. So now I'm like, okay, we need a few different opinions. I need to go and take these to someone in person. We need to find out, because if these are fake, that changes the game by a huge margin, because I would have never seen a fake shoe this good. That would absolutely shock me. Now, this story does get a little bit deeper because it does turn out that there is an epidemic out there with this shoe in particular being like insanely faked, and that there's a ton of them on the market that are literally being sold through apps like StockX and GOAT. Now, it's a huge topic and I'm trying to look more into it. So I don't know if you guys have any experience with this, let me know down in the comments. Be very keen to hear your story. But all I can say is I 100% regret buying this pair of shoes, and I would highly recommend that none of you buy this pair of shoes on the secondary market, unless obviously you got them from Travis Scott's website, the only place that you could actually get them. Otherwise, I think you're gonna lose way too much money. It's just unfortunate because, like, I think for the average person, I would never recommend you spend any of this crazy amount of money on the aftermarket. But for us as content creators, we're kind of limited to these platforms. Like, we kind of have to buy these shoes. But yeah, just avoid this one in particular, or any Travis Scott shoe on the aftermarket. I would not trust any of it, but this one in particular for sure, because it seems like there's some, I don't know, elite level of fakes that are swimming around. Although, I don't know, we'll find out. I'll let you guys know in the future whether these turn out to be real or not. I'll get a few different second opinions and stuff like that, but I think regardless of these being real or if they turn out fake, I regret the whole damn thing. I should not have bought these in the first place at all. The amount of money is just ridiculous. But there you go, guys. That's the 2026 version of, you know, fashion and sneakers that I regret buying. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section, and let me know if there's any other regrets that you have. What sneakers have you bought that you've been like, damn, I should not have bought those? Would love to hear it, so I don't feel like the only idiot out there. But yeah, that's about it. Like always, I'm gonna leave another video in the top left-hand corner. Click on it to check it out.